Last load of logs that I'm going to take off my property. That's all I wanted to thin out the bush. So I got the last 10 trees down and skidded out to the edge of the lawn. Got a little more efficient with cleaning the logs off. I hauled the water over to them and the pressure washer and cleaned them all at the same time. So I'd clean all one side and give them a roll, clean the other side, and move around the 32 lengths that came out of those 10 trees and till I got them all washed, and then just had to skid them all. It was a lot quicker than the way I was doing it before. Just giving the walk through the bush here. Wanted to do a final tally on what I ended up taking off my property for trees. Looks like I took 11 dead standing hemlock, which was good. Didn't want to drop that many live trees, but I did carefully select 10 monster living hemlocks, but it was where there was 2 or 3 in one spot, and I just dropped one for my bigger beams. I also got 9 cedars down. I wanted to do more of the cabin out of cedar, but the bottom 10 feet of most cedars were they're rotting in the middle, and the trees tend to taper so quickly that it was hard getting longer lengths of usable beams. I was hoping to use them for the walls, since they're going to be vertically, and I only needed 9 footers or so to pull off wall beams, but I only got 9 cedars in the end. So I was hoping to do more because cedar's lighter to work with. Would have been easier for handling. Anyway, just walking through the property, waiting for the lawn to dry up a little to finish skidding the last few across the lawn. If you keep an eye on the left at the water tank level, you can see how quick I was using water. The pressure washer uses it at 4 gallons per minute. And I didn't get all the logs done today. I had to take it back over and set it back at the house. Wait for another day of rain before I could finish cleaning the logs. But it was only a day later, so it wasn't too big a deal. Just wanted to share one of the tricks I picked up over time when just with skidding so many logs. So I use the clevis a lot, but by the time you unthread the bolt and feed it through your strap and then put it back on, it's just time consuming. So with my crossbar, I do have a 2-inch ball for towing trailers around. So I've just been feeding the loops through, going around and hooking over the ball. And whenever I have to undo the clavister, it's just way quicker. And I could do it with 2 straps if I had 2 smaller logs in tow. And then at the other end, it was just taking it off the ball and undo your double loop off the log. Just like so. Yep, definitely gonna have to get the 4-wheel drive fixed. Can't go anywhere without the tire change or 4-wheel drive. I'd like to thank the first guy to ever make a comment on my channel for lending me this trailer here that I'm about to load the tractor on, so I can truck it down to the family farm, and hopefully my brother and I can get the 4-wheel drive fixed up. Won't be too big a deal, hopefully. We'll get the deer strapped down and we'll get on down the road to the farm. Well, I'm just waiting on my cousin to come over with the mill, and also waiting on my tractor to come back, so a lot easier to lift them onto the mill and lift the beams off. Just in here in the bush cleaning up some of the tops that I didn't use for beam material. Just been splitting them for firewood, and I'll have to clean up the brush piles this winter from all the tree tops. But for now I'm just splitting some of the tops. So this is the final pile that I got off my property. There's about 10 of those little guys in there that came from a coworker, but the rest are off the property. And my big floor beams. And then we got all the roof material, a couple big logs there for the floor beams as well. And then some full-length trees in the back there, in case some of the logs check pretty bad or whatever. I can use them for wherever, depending on length. So some of the logs are started to dry out. I'm no expert at this logging business, but from what I read online, you're supposed to mill them as wet as soon as you can. But to get all these logs out took me a couple months during the COVID crisis. So some of them have checked and dried out pretty bad. But I did read if you paint the ends of them, so some of the ones that aren't bad yet, I can probably, I got some old paint in the house, so I'll bring out and try to prevent them from all checking like that until they're milled. But some of my big ones are still in decent shape, so. One down, a whole bunch more to go. Painting the ends of these logs is actually going fairly quickly. I wouldn't have done this if I didn't have 3 half-gallon paint cans in the basement from who knows how long ago, and I don't even remember what they were for. So just waiting on the mill, and I'm waiting on my tractor to come back. So read this online, just thought it was worth a try to save some of the really bad checking, and then get a little more length out of some of the material, because the ends usually check pretty bad, and you have to cut off all the split material. So I should have enough of this gray to get all the both sides of all the floor beams, and then I think there's a can of brown and a can of black still in the basement, so I'll just put away at this. Nice day to be outside, so that'll be it for the paint job for you. So please like and subscribe to Against the Grain Living. Be sure to hit the notification symbol and you'll be notified every time I upload.